Facebook, it's been so long since I've done these videos that Facebook, it's been so long since I've done these videos that YouTube has changed all this freaking live streaming stuff. I used to be, like right now, I'm probably on your phones vertically. And I guess that's okay. But I prefer, when I have the phone turned sideways. Oh boy, that's good. That's really, really, that's really, really good. You know what else is good? Being on the road again. No, I shouldn't say that. I shouldn't say that being on the road. Being on the road again, it's what's the word I'm looking for? Um, it's interesting. Let me just say that it's interesting to be on the road again. I, for years, here I am, 61, going on 62, and for years I lived out of a suitcase, traveling all over the place. Australia, New Zealand, all over Europe, Mexico, Canada, I mean, just traveling everywhere. And for the last 3 years, for the most part, I think with the exception of a very brief trip down to Key West, Florida, a short cruise to Alaska, I've been home. I've been pretty much home in Idaho, and and I've liked being there. I've enjoyed banana bread. It seems everywhere you go here, there's banana bread. I don't know if it's the state bread or not. I don't know if states have state breads, but if states do have state breads, then the state bread of Hawaii has got to be banana bread because it's everywhere. But no, as far as the whole travel thing, I've done all that. I've traveled. I've traveled the world, and to be quite honest with you, I'm rather content just being home with my garden, the comforts of my home and what have you. So traveling to me is not what it used to be. And I know that there's those out there, perhaps the one person watching, whoever that is. Maybe it's Paul Crowley. Maybe Paul Crowley is watching. But I'm content at this stage of my life, 61 going on 62. I'm really content where I'm at, and that's a good feeling to have. It's a really, really good feeling to have. But anyway, I'm in. For those of you that have seen my recent videos, I'm in Maui, Hawaii, and it's an interesting story. It's an interesting story of how I came to come to Maui this trip, and without going into a lot of details, I'll basically tell you this: that I had an invitation from an individual, a woman. I had an invitation from a woman that watches, that's a subscriber to YouTube. She could be the one person watching this right now, for all I know. But I had an invitation from a woman to join her, to come to Hawaii. She was doing a timeshare thing where you sit through a timeshare spiel and they give you like 4 nights at a resort or something like that. So she had 4 nights and was curious to know if I would join her. And I said, sure. So initially the plan was to go to Kihei or Kauai, a different island than I'm on now. And we were going to go and share the share the expense of the car rental and what have you. And then due to health reasons, she had to cancel that trip almost last minute. And I had already bought my airfare ticket. And then a month or two later, she reached out to me again and wanted to know if I wanted to go this time to Maui. And I love Maui. Absolutely love Maui. Wanted to know if I wanted to go to Maui. So the plane ticket that I had, it was a ticket that could be changed. So I changed the ticket to come to Maui with her this trip this week. And lo and behold, I get a text message from her just almost days before planning to come over here, basically canceling again for the second time. And I said, you know what? Screw it. I've got points. I've got points from my credit card, and I can use those points, and I can come back to Maui. And so here I am in Maui. But I'll tell you, it's hard for me to adjust to being on vacation. Good morning, Mr. Todd. It's hard for me to adjust to being on vacation. It really is. I mean, I woke up this morning and sat down to my laptop and started to do some work, interestingly enough. But I still have, what's today? Today is Thursday. So I still have 4 full days here in Hawaii before heading home on Monday, an overnight flight to go see. I'm going to see Barry Manilow at the Copacabana. I'm gonna go see Barry Manilow in Boise on Tuesday night. But no, you know what? I'm just kind of wandering with my thoughts at the moment. But truth be told, I'd actually prefer, enjoy as much, if not more, being in my camper, out in the forest somewhere. Last weekend, I went up to Goose Lake. I think, I did some videos from Goose Lake. But last weekend I went up to Goose Lake, and it was fabulous. It was just absolutely fabulous, sitting there by the fire at night, taking the kayak out on the lake. And that's really what I enjoy the most. But speaking of kayaks, good old Mr. Todd Stoddard that's watching this. He, I'm always getting stuff that Todd gets. It's just, it's a nice thing. I don't have to spend time, searching for, the latest and greatest. All I have to do is shoot Todd a message and say, Todd, what's the latest and greatest? And he starts sending me links of stuff that he's buying on Amazon. So Todd told me about a kayak. It's a collapsible kayak. It's an Oru, O-R-U. You can spell it, or you can search it, O-R-U kayak. And it's a kayak that collapses. You fold it up almost into the size of a big suitcase. Interestingly enough, you just fold it and unfold it when you want to go out on the kayak. You just unfold it, and I it looks pretty durable. So I ordered a new kayak yesterday. It's the Oru Beach. I think they have different models. I got the Beach LT kayak from Costco. You got to buy everything from Costco because of their wonderful return policy. But but anyway, no. Given the choice, I've had mine for 4 years. Yeah. How many years have you had your wife, Todd? He's had his kayak for 4 years. I wonder how many years he's had his wife. But anyway, 45 year 40. I got to squint. 45 years. Isn't that something? They say a great lover is not a man who's loved many women, but rather a man who's loved one woman all his life. That's a great lover. So Todd, you're a great lover. He's probably smiling at that thought, but anyway, so that's the place that I'm staying at. I don't know if I can turn this. I probably can turn this camera around here. Look at this room. I walked into this room yesterday here at the Montage Kapalua Resort, and I couldn't believe my eyes. At this room. I mean, I've stayed in some nice places. Those of you that have watched my videos, there's the bedroom back there and the kitchen and what have you. I've stayed at some nice places, but this place is. Oh, I better turn the temperature down. It was set at 72 maybe. But this place is just gorgeous. These used to be residences. I guess they sold these at one time as residences. And it's got all the fixing. I mean, I've lived in places that are smaller than this. It's got the kitchen, it's got the living area, beautiful bedroom, beautiful bathroom. It's got the washer and the dryer in the back. I've lived at places like this before. And look at the patio. I mean, the patio itself is just incredible. It's just absolutely incredible. And look at this view you wake up to. You see that? But one of the things that always, whenever I stay at a place like this, one of the things that always challenges me is the realization that there's people out there that'll never, ever, ever have the opportunity to experience something like this. And that kind of takes a little bit of the, it takes a little bit of the, I don't know what you want to call it, joy or whatever. You want to enjoy a place like this to its fullest, but, always in the back of my mind, there's the realization that there's individuals out there that are just never gonna experience something as beautiful as this. But anyway, so and with that being said, I'm gonna get on with my day. You know what? Interestingly enough, they give you. I've never experienced this before, but they give you a $200 resort credit to be used at the spa, for like a massage. You could use the resort credit for a massage. You could use the resort credit for dinner, for breakfast, which I'm going to go have breakfast here shortly. So it's a $200 per day credit that they give you, and you gotta give them, provide them with the tip. You gotta give them the tip, and you gotta pay taxes. But other than that, it's $200 a day. So I've got $200 in my pocket. You know, it's burning a hole in my pocket right now. I'm gonna go down and have myself a beautiful breakfast. Mm. I'm gonna go down and have myself a beautiful breakfast and then a wonderful lunch. And I'll have myself a nice dinner. I'm gonna live a little, you know. So anyway, all right. With all that being said, I'm gonna stop babbling and just wish you all a great day. Okay, take care.